AM Impact on Your Health is sponsored by Dennis J. Courtney, MD, Director of the Courtney Medical Group, located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray, Pennsylvania. For more information or to make an appointment, call 724-942-3002. That's 724-942-3002 for Dennis J. Courtney, MD.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to AM Impact on Your Health. AM Impact on Your Health, where every day our goal is to have you learn at least one thing to help you live better and longer. AM Impact on Your Health, heard every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney, and I'm with you each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. AM Impact on Your Health, where each day you'll find current medical news, knowledgeable guests, fascinating health topics, and where we do encourage you to call in and join in. Today, well, it is a Friday version of the show, a get 'em up out of town version of the show, as we usually like to say. A lot of things sort of ending here, and maybe ask you to comment on how you feel about them. Really putting in APB, all points bulletin out for all those who were able and traveled up to Butler last night to visit with our 108-year-old gentleman, Bernardo Lapaya. We had him here on Monday, and it was difficult to completely understand him, but he claimed he was bringing all of his books with him. Hey, who went up to that meeting? What did you think? Share it with all of us. I didn't have a chance to make it up there last night, so I was hoping that maybe one or two or three of you could give us a call today at 412-825-6262 and just tell us what you think and how it went. Of course, you can tell us what you think and how it's going from your viewpoint about anything at all. As we open those phones up today, I'll be sharing some information with you about what we do around here at the office, located just south of South Hills Village on Washington Road in McMurray, 3075 McMurray Avenue, Washington Road in McMurray. Our phone number is 724-942-3002. So we open up today. We allow you to come on in and set the agenda. Whatever on your mind is okie dokie with me. We had the eye seminar ended. Had a little bit of a special look inside, behind the scenes of that. My son's been helping the Phoenix crew get through this particular session, and he's done so a couple other cases and a couple other places in the country too. But I checked with him last night. All went well. I think they all pull out of town today. I haven't spoken to either Dr. Conrad or Dr. O. Certainly do enjoy the fact that every so often they come to Pittsburgh and treat those lucky individuals who've decided to, well, take a different approach to their eye issues with respect to how they may be doing already with conventional treatments. Some, of course, aren't interested in the conventional treatments at all, but others have attempted them and really not too happy with the progress. I checked with my son and found out that once again, as they evaluated those patients who had a certain criteria that they presented at the beginning of the treatment conference, every single one of them had some pretty good and amazing improvements by the end, and their treatment program is just beginning. So today we're here allowing you to come on in and set the agenda. 412-825-6262 is the number to do it. I got a number of things I want to discuss with you with respect to the things that we do around here. I often am asked, hey, you don't talk enough about what you do. You're always bringing guests on the show and talking about what they do. And I always enjoy doing that. And I do enjoy sharing with you the things that we offer here at our office. So we're going to do this. We're going to take a short break. In the interim, I'll allow you, if you have a mind to give us a call, 412-825-6262. Remember the APB, for all those who may have been up at the Freedom of Choice and Cancer Therapy group last night. Inquiring minds want to know, how did you go? What did you think? How did it go? And what do you think about our 108-year-old guest who probably now is on his way back to the West Coast, Fernando Lapayo, and what secrets he may have shared with you. He shared a few of them with us, very few. I think he was holding back, waiting to have an opportunity to meet all of you up there. So, take a short break right now. When we return, listen for your knock on the door, 412-825-6262. We will be back in just a moment.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. Have you become confused about how best to manage your health? It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you are looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Want to help your family eat healthier? Instead of learning to disguise tofu in wondrous ways, how about some real nutritional power? If your family has the typical American palate for fries, pizza, and burgers, giving your family the blessing of good nutrition is a struggle. Fruit of the Spirit is the answer for your family's nutritional needs. Fruit of the Spirit is an all-natural, whole fruit puree made from fresh fruits native to the Holy Land with alkalizing minerals. Fruit of the Spirit was 5 years in the formulation, the work of a team of top nutritional experts with independent science to confirm its antioxidant power. 1 ounce a day provides the equivalent of 5 servings of fruits and minerals. Fruit of the Spirit is convenient, affordable, and delicious. Even your picky family will sing the praises of Fruit of the Spirit. Give your loved ones the blessing of good nutrition. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. That's 1-800-442-3793. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health. Heard here on KHB 620 each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. Fridays are extra special around here. We call them the Get 'em Up Out of Town version of the show, where most often when we're able to, and today we are certainly able to, we'll open it up and allow you to come on in and set the agenda, asking a question, making a comment. Anything on your mind is okay with me. Special request for those who may have been up at the Freedom of Choice in Cancer Therapy seminar last night. I had the opportunity to listen to Mr. Fernando Lapayo, who was in town, and hey, how did he look? How did he sound? I never have not seen a picture of the gentleman. 108. He sounded as though he's pretty youthful, 108, huh? And he's going to be 109 in a couple months. Anyway, waiting to hear about any of your take-home impressions of that meeting. Give us a call at 412-825-6262. Now, wanted to just take the opportunity today, while we're waiting for you to come on in and capture the show and take it away and move it in the direction you'd like to, talk about some of the things that we do around here, various categories of the way to group them. The fact of the matter is, any particular medical issue going on with you that you might, you may already be seeing a conventional medical doctor for, and not too happy with your results. You may be in that holding pattern where you actually are having your symptoms dealt with, but not the causes. Any particular reason that you see any doctor is a reason to come to see us here at the Enhancement Center just south of the South Hills Village on Route 19, also called Washington Road. But to categorize some of the divisions here, to give you a better idea of what we offer, and I'm told I don't do it often enough, well, let's see what I just sort of jotted down here, and if it serves some conversation, that's great. If it becomes informative for you, that's great too. But I say, consider us for these particular areas of concern. One of the major divisions of our office and our operation here really has been in place since my early days in medicine. As most of you do know, I'm trained as an anesthesiologist and had many years of working in hospitals, preparing patients for surgery, whether we put them to sleep, used spinal anesthesia and the like, and had a really enjoyable component of my career in doing so. As an offshoot of that, however, the work in the pain realm, whether that be acute pain or chronic pain, has always been part and parcel to what most anesthesiologists do. Now, I have to admit that upon leaving the educational programs, residency and the like, participating in pain clinics as they were taught at the time, I became disenchanted with the results that were found by utilizing what most anesthesia doctors are trained to do, which is to deliver various forms of nerve blocks. And oh my goodness gracious, there are a bunch of those nerve blocks, and seemingly a patient would come in and report, well, it hurts me here. And we would do our best to try to focus in on the group of nerves that were controlling the area of concern. We would mix up a mixture of an anesthetic and a steroid, and we would inject, and we would tell the patient, look, come back in about a week and let us know how you're doing then. Now, what wasn't known at the time, and it really has to be analyzed by me, was that as they left, there was no way that we knew, and there is no way that the current crew of anesthesiologists would know, if they really are going to be effective in treating your problem. They're using a steroid, as I was trained to do, and once you analyze what the intention here is that to quiet down, to use a steroid to remove inflammation. If it works, and a week from after you have done it, then maybe you'll learn if in fact it did, then the patient's very happy that it worked. Probably will only last for a week or two or three before it returns again. I guess maybe both the anesthesia doctor as well as the patient for that month are both happy with themselves, but nothing was really fixed, really. What about the group, by the way, in a week that comes back and says, hey, that did absolutely nothing for me. I didn't get any relief, and now the doctor just stopped dead in his tracks. This is a dilemma that I had to confront back in the early days of my career, utilizing what was taught and still remains being taught in the treatment of chronic pain. So I railed up against it and went out to hell and had to learn other approaches that answered the question, what's the diagnosis? Because it was quite clear that the approach up to that point that was being taught within the training institutions never really looked for a diagnosis. They just looked to the potential response to using a steroid treatment. Well, as it turns out, diagnoses are possible. I think that was the interesting aspect of what further education and delving into the matter ultimately revealed to me, was that it is possible. And this is what the message I now bring to all of you. If you have two kinds of pain problems, huh? You could have an acute pain problem, or you could have a chronic pain problem. In the acute pain realm, meaning if you injure yourself, you fall down today, tomorrow you can pretty much expect and won't be surprised if you have pain and discomfort and disuse and swelling and lack of range of motion in that particular body part. It's no surprise to you. It just pretty much comes with the territory of having the bad luck of having the fall or the trip or the automobile accident or whatever. no surprise the day after any of those events, you are going to be having pain and discomfort. You expect it, and all your doctors expect it too. Now, what you need to know is that in acute pain, you've got all of the numbers working for you. What I mean by that is that the greatest majority of people within a certain time frame, even though they have pain for a while, they expect, as has happened in your case so often over and over again, that given time, tissue will heal and reestablish itself, and you'll be back to normal. You don't have to have any necessary sequelae that go along with it. That's the highest percentage of the cases right there in acute pain. You just need an extra modality while you're recovering from your injury, and we think we have that modality. It's called Matrix. I don't speak of it much. It is a new age, new way, a way to deliver an electroceutical, new word, which is a fancy way for saying we deliver a neural blockade without the nerve block, without the needles, producing quite a bit of good pain relief, with what might even be for days for a 20-minute treatment. Come on in with any acute pain problem, because while we're waiting for you to improve and get better, which we fully expect to happen, it just may be that you need an extra modality in your pocket to help you get through that time frame. Anyway, that's the acute pain story. I ask all of you who might have it, come on in to see us and get some immediate relief through the use of a matrix technology that provides a neural blockade without nerve blocks. Hey, we got knocks on the door. Come on in the store. Hello and welcome aboard. You're in. Go ahead. Hello? Yes, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, this is, I'm calling from Butler. I was at Freedom of Choice.
Did you see the gentleman last night?
Oh, he's a dynamic speaker, and he certainly looks to be more like in his late 60s.
Really?
His skin, everything was flawless, and they had just come in from Arizona. He didn't even have time to rest, and he stood the whole time, didn't have any notes. I mean, everything comes out of his mind. It's just, it was so impressive to hear him. They even opened a second room. There were so many people there to make rooms for seating. And he has a website, which I think, I haven't had a chance to look into.
Well, we couldn't get a website out of him when we had him on the radio the other day. I asked for one. What is that website?
Yes, it's www.ageless.
Ageless.
AGELESS.
Okay.
Live, LIVE, more, MORE, store, SCORE.com.
AgelessLiveMoreStore.com. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Well, there you go. It's a long one. Did he bring his books with him?
Yes, he did. I have the book, and it's wonderful. My husband was reading it last night. He couldn't put it down, and it's so easy to read. But his father taught him so much that it's fascinating. I think his father lived to be 98, and he was a physician. But he really believes in olive oil, and his skin is just, I mean, I wasn't right beside him, but I couldn't believe how good he looked. And he does it on his feet every night. He soaks his feet in gentle soap and water and dries them and then rubs them with olive oil. And he said he's been doing that since he was a young man. And your feet are your foundation. And it's so important to do that. But he said it doesn't cost much, and he firmly believes in walking. He said he's out walking 1 to 2 miles every day. And he said you go early in the morning before you get all that smog and everything.
Yeah, he's on the West Coast, too. A real reason to get out there before the smog develops from all the automobiles, right?
Right. But his daughter said this will probably be his last long trip. She said that's just too far. It is. So we are so fortunate to have had him. I'm so glad I went. But I think you could order the book through the...
What's the name of the book? Maybe that'll help us, too.
Yes, Ageless Live More.
Ageless, Live More.
Right. Huh?
Okay.
And he is now writing his second book. He said he's trying to find the time. He's so busy, but he's on his second book, which he said will be even more. It'll have more information.
He certainly doesn't have a lack of drive and motivation at his age.
Oh,
He's still looking forward, huh?
yes, it's just so inspiring.
Well, I want to thank you for your phone call. Oh, by the way, he shared with us when he was on the radio program on Monday a little thing when I asked him, to what do you attribute this? And, of course, he could have picked anything, but he went and broke into the fact, and I'm anxious to see if he talked about it with you, the group, that every day I gathered, every day he starts his day with cinnamon tea. Did he talk about that at all?
Yes, he did. He uses thick cinnamon. And I did it this morning. I used thick cinnamon. And he said, when you make that tea, cook your rolled oats in that. He's a firm believer in rolled oats. And he said, use that cinnamon tea to drink, and you can always also use that to cook your rolled oats. So I did that this morning. It's very good. He believes cinnamon really helps with diabetes. He
Yes.
said, I have my cinnamon tea every morning, but I didn't realize he used thick cinnamon. And I do have the thick cinnamon. So it is good, too.
Where do you get the stick cinnamon? I've looked for it. It's difficult to find.
Oh, I don't know. I think I had bought it at some kind of a... I don't know if the Waltz has it, but I had a jar of it in the cupboard. I really use it at Christmas time to flavor your drinks and that. But
Well, I'm sure he must have written about it in his book too, right? So if
Yes,
people
he
get the
did.
book, okay.
I can't wait to read this book. It's so easy, and it has pictures in. Very informative. Easy reading.
Well, hey, thank you so much for the phone call. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that you had an opportunity to go visit him last night. I'm glad to hear it was so well participated. They had to open a second room to accommodate all the folks that wanted to see this gentleman. And you're right, this may be one of the last opportunities for someone on the East Coast to visit with the gentleman because, as the daughter said, it's a pretty long way and it's an arduous trip. So I think you may have been at a one-of-a-kind presentation, and it looks as though you enjoyed yourself immensely.
I commend Sylvia for finding him and bringing him.
Oh, she has the ability to really seek out very, very interesting, and whether something is interesting or not, she sort of knows. This was a no-brainer. You got somebody 108 years old who I thought was he was extremely articulate with respect to his speech. His mental clarity was clear. We had a difficult time understanding him, I think maybe because of the hour of the morning, and he was talking in a low tone, and it was very difficult on the radio, but all that sort of cleared up when you met him in the flesh and you had an opportunity to observe him. He was clear, I'm sure. Was he communicable? In other words, could you easily understand him when he spoke? That's my quick question.
Yes,
okay.
You could. And I think what brought a lot of people, he was on our local talk show that same day at 12:30. And he was so, you could hear him so much better than I don't know if it was a bad line or what it was, but
okay.
That really brought a lot of people out.
I think it was the hour of the morning. Our line was pretty good, but we started it was 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning when we got a hold of him. And anybody's day interrupted at that time, you almost think like you have to speak in low tones when in fact I was trying to tell him, bring up the volume. Hey, thank you, ma'am, so much for your call. We all enjoyed hearing it, and I got this website, and I'll be checking it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye now.
There you have it. The APB has worked. We have people calling us in. There was another knock on the door. Come on the store. Hello and welcome aboard. Hello? Hey, if you have more on the subject of Bernardo Lapayo, give us a call. Or if you have anything on any subject that you want to discuss, you can give us a call too. 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. We're opening up to you today. Talk about whatever you'd like to talk about. Let's do this. Take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue talking about what we offer here in the way of pain treatments and now chronic pain treatments. Interesting perspective I'd like to share with you to help maybe if you have such a problem to get feeling good about having someone actually deal with and correct it. Be back in a moment.
Have you been to the doctor lately? Was fatigue top of your complaint list? Even if your doctor asks you what you eat, the recommended 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day is a dream in your busy schedule. What if you learned of a product 5 years in the formulation that delivers 5 servings of fruits and minerals in just 1 ounce? That's right, it's Fruit of the Spirit. The blessings of Fruit of the Spirit are now formulated into a delicious whole fruit puree product rich in antioxidants and minerals. Your health is more than just a test result. It's a balance of physical, spiritual, and emotional factors. You work regularly to strengthen your faith? Let Fruit of the Spirit help cover your nutritional needs in a convenient and cost-effective ounce a day. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. Fruit of the Spirit, 5 servings of fruits and minerals with no added sugars. That's 1-800-442-3793 for your good health. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. Have you become confused about how best to manage your health? It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you are looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health. Here on this Friday, Get 'em Up, out-of-town version of the show. We've opened it up for you today, allowing you to come on in and set the agenda. Anything on your mind is okay with me. We'll take those who may have been also at the Freedom of Choice and Cancer Therapy group to talk to us about their impressions of their featured speaker last night. But it doesn't have to be on that particular subject. Just give us a call at 412-825-6262. A knock on the door is all I need to hear, and I'll let you on in. Just heard a knock. Come on in the store. Hello, and welcome aboard. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Dr. Courtney.
Hi.
Hi, I had a question for you as far as something I saw on the news yesterday.
Okay.
They were saying that they have the surplus of the H1N1 vaccinations and that they're going to be using it for the Spanish flu.
In Spain?
What are you supposed to make of that?
H1N1 turned out to be pretty much a bust. Okay,
yeah,
it really did. And when they say the Spanish flu, are they talking about carting all those extra doses over to Spain?
Or giving them to us. I have no idea. They weren't that elaborate. They just said that they're going to be using. They found another use for the H1N1 for the
Spanish flu.
Viral flu.
Okay. I actually haven't heard of a new strain going around yet that's been dubbed the Spanish flu, because that could be pretty much like the bird flu thing, and who knows how they get named, and it's usually from where they are first found and first discovered. But I think the bigger story is the reason that they had to find another use.
It's because of the expiration date.
Yeah, because of the expiration date, and there's so many doses that nobody wanted.
Mm-hmm.
They got everybody wound up, and they couldn't produce. And then September rolled around, October rolled around. People already went through the flu. I remember reporting, by the time the vaccine was available, the flu had already run its course. And what they were saying is,
right,
well, hey, why don't you get a dose now just to prevent you from a secondary infection? It was all botched by the feds, the wonderful federal government, the CDC screwed up again. So.
And I remember, too, on our local news, they were reporting a national report saying, and this was after all the hullabaloo was over, that they're finding vitamin D is more effective at fighting this swine flu.
Yeah, well,
preventing this.
Sure, because of its influence over the immune system and all infectious diseases. You could probably fill in the blank. Vitamin D helps in the prevention of, and just fill in the blank, because vitamin D turns out to be that potent a force immunologically. But H1N1, total bust. We just have to be wary and leery of the next vaccine coming down the pike. Most of our listeners here, certainly I understand and I listen to you speak all the time on this, we're pretty much, it's going to have to be a real special case before vaccines are going to be alluring to us. But even this time around, the general public, it didn't pass the smell test to them, and they rejected it, which is why that with all that vaccine in the warehouse, the next flu that came down the pike looks like it's going to be called Spanish flu. I'm unfamiliar with the term, but they got so many doses, they got to use it for something, and I guess they found out their use.
Right.
I don't think I'll be getting the H1N1 anytime soon. And the more I hear about it, I'll bring it to you. We'll discuss it again, and I'll always give you credit for bringing that concept to us first. Okay?
And I was at the meeting yesterday.
Oh, did you see?
I had another appointment and it ran over. Came in late. He had good general information, but when the people in the audience individually had asked their particular question, he basically said, refer to the herb book or go to the nutrition store and ask anybody there. And that kind of turned me off, because you would think, I know he didn't have a script with him, which was excellent. His general information was really good. But as far as people asking individual particular questions, like what can I do for, someone said, if someone has an autoimmune condition, what herb can I take? He said, go to the herb book.
Yeah, I think that...
Because you want something, when you have a guest there, you want their, basic opinion. You want their professional, I know you're not a professional doctor, but you want his experiential opinion, and you didn't get that. He said refer to the herb book, which is, I guess, his herb book. But, when he's there, you would expect an answer,
Well, I can see where that could be frustrating. I also felt, even in the poor quality of audio that we had on Monday with him, we were going to get from him his general rules of life. Yeah. And he would break into, he'd be talking about one thing which would immediately provoke him to think about another personal event. It was all from the personal side, which is a great human way to connect with an audience, but it would frustrate someone like you who demand a little more.
Well, he had said, when you had him on that, particular questions, that's why you come to the meeting, or you would buy his book. But he said, if you come to the meeting, I'll give you the information, but, as the audience, we didn't particularly get, but like I said, his general information was really good, and he does look the part.
And he does look at 60s.
I was very impressed that he stood there, and he didn't, rebalance himself or anything. I sat in the back, but he was perfect. He spoke very well. You could really understand him. I guess it's the radio frequency that maybe distorts his voice, but you could really understand him well.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. And
on the way home, we hit a deer.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so my front grill is smashed and the headlight is non-existent.
You're okay, though? You're all right?
A little damper on things, but...
Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry to hear. But you're all right. Everybody in the vehicle's okay? Just a little shaken.
Startled, yeah.
Jesus.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the call. Always like hearing from you and getting your perspective.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Good, got the idea. Good general information, not too much on the specifics. I think that what we learned is that his father was an herbalist, but more than likely would had he, I guess he died when he was 98 years old. We're told today. He'd be more scientifically motivated to answer questions on autoimmunity than this gentleman, who I thought he has a good command of the role of diabetes and it plays with respect to sugar metabolism. I mean, for someone who would rank taking cinnamon tea in the morning for a lifetime, based on the reasoning that this is the best way to control your blood sugar, and then on numerous occasions during the interview that we did on Monday, he spontaneously broke into the deleterious effects of diabetes, the fact that it claims life early, that it claims limbs early, that it affects vision, the diabetic role, which he claimed there was no such thing as diabetes when he was first growing up. And it's true. Diabetes is a disease of more recent generations. Didn't even exist, in name at least, at the turn of the last century. Well, we're here with you today saying, come on in, give us a call, set the agenda. Interested in your perspective. If you were up there and had a chance to see and hear Fernando Lapayo last night, you don't have to have been in that crowd. You can just have anything on your mind is okay with me. 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. Take another short break. We'll be back. Maybe in the interim, there'll be a knock on the door. We'll be right back and find out.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. Have you become confused about how best to manage your health? It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you are looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Want to help your family eat healthier? Instead of learning to disguise tofu in wondrous ways, how about some real nutritional power? If your family has the typical American palate for fries, pizza, and burgers, giving your family the blessing of good nutrition is a struggle. Fruit of the Spirit is the answer for your family's nutritional needs. Fruit of the Spirit is an all-natural whole fruit puree made from fresh fruits native to the Holy Land with alkalizing minerals. Fruit of the Spirit was 5 years in the formulation, the work of a team of top nutritional experts with independent science to confirm its antioxidant power. 1 ounce a day provides the equivalent of 5 servings of fruits and minerals. Fruit of the Spirit is convenient, affordable, and delicious. Even your picky family will sing the praises of Fruit of the Spirit. Give your loved ones the blessing of good nutrition. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. That's 1-800-442-3793. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
Good morning and welcome back to AIM Impact on Your Health on this Friday. Get 'em up out of town version of the show. We're here allowing you to come on and knock on the door and just set the agenda. Anything on your mind is okay with me. Most specifically, too, you may have been up at the Freedom of Choice in Cancer Therapy Group and have your own impressions of the guest, the 108-year-old guest, Fernando Lapayo, who was there in attendance last night. I hear some strong knocks at the door. Why don't we let them in kind? Come on ahead. You're in the store. Go right ahead. What's on your mind?
How are you?
I'm well. How are you? What's on your mind today?
I could not get up to that meeting last night, and I was just wondering how I could get a hold of some of his books.
Well, I wrote down, and I'll pass on to you and other listeners too, there is a website. There may be a phone number at that website. I don't know. But there's a website.
No website.
I'm not on the internet.
Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to the internet, and if there's an 800 phone number that jumps out that allows me to give folks like you another way of getting the book, I will really do so. I'm also imagining that I'll talk to Sylvia. There'll be a way that she can order that book. They sell books up there at the Freedom of Choice and Cancer Therapy Group. They may have left a number of books here and available. I promise to find out so that someone like you can use a phone number instead of the internet, because I understand you don't have internet access, and that's just the way it is. But nonetheless, there is a way, I'm sure, of getting that book. Allow me a day or two to find out how to help you, and I'll be listening on the show, and I'll give you an idea of how to do it.
Every Wednesday and Friday.
Okay, you listen to the show. I'll come with a phone number. It'll work. I guarantee you when I finally find it.
Doctor, did he just give any inkling so I could start drinking the cinnamon tea now?
Oh, boy, if there's an inkling that was ever emphasized by this gentleman, the first thing out of his mouth, as you would know, having listened to the show on Monday, when I came to this question about, okay, to what do you attribute this longevity, he did not hesitate. He used that cinnamon tea since he's been a kid. He has always used the cinnamon tea. It's a good way to have blood sugar regulation work on your behalf, and he claimed it as one of the key components to his life, as well as I felt that we learned from him on the radio show that his diet consists of vegetables, fish 3 times a week, and no meat. So I thought that was another earth-shattering statement he made. And then I think a very interesting point came up on our Monday show, where we learned that one of his careers was as a chef. Did you remember hearing that from him?
Yes, I did.
And I thought the interesting thing about it, and he was a chef on cruise ships. He was a chef in major hotels. He made reference to presidents. I'm guessing that they are people that he actually served with the meals that he prepared. Yet he claimed, and I got to believe this guy, that he never tasted anything that he ever made. He could tell by smelling it whether or not it was the recipe he intended it to be. And so it was in that way that he could keep his pledge of only eating vegetables and fish and no meat and the like. So to me, what a sense of smell that must be, to be able to determine whether the thing that you made and preparing for everybody out there at the tables it was made exactly as you would want it to make without tasting it. Didn't you think that was odd?
Yes, very. Very much being a cook.
I'm sure he talks a bit about that in his book. I don't know whether he's elaborated on that last night. But you keep listening. I'll find a phone number and I'll put it up on the air and you'll be able to hear it, okay?
Thank you so much, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Okay, bye now. Yeah, I'll get that phone number. I'll find one some way, somehow. I heard another knock at the door. Come on in the store. Hello, and welcome aboard.
Hey, good morning, Medical Maverick.
Hey, hello. It's been a long time, Radioactive Rich.
Oh, yes. Well, I've been very busy, but I always try to catch the show because it's one of the best on radio.
Well, we enjoy doing it, Active. Tell me what's on your board now. What have you been doing? Bring us up to speed on yourself.
Okay, well, like it says about with these different flu shots they're trying to put in people. Like it says that there's so many good things in homeopathy that would help to prevent that.
Absolutely, and the just having an ophthalmology treatment seminar here where homeopathy is the basis of it, one would never consider, I think just off the top of their head, how homeopathy could turn around some pretty advanced eye conditions. But Dr. Ed Condrat certainly has been a proponent of that. He's written books about it, and he stands in a pretty thin line of a very few number of physicians, period, let alone ophthalmologists, that have expertise in that area. So flus are one thing. Looks like homeopathy can work just about for anything, and you've been a big proponent of it yourself. Got any particular formulations for someone worried about flu?
Well, there's there's one that's particular. It's called influenzinum. It's good for all kind of stuff there. That regardless what type of flu is out there.
Influenzinum. Okay.
Yeah. And too, want to wish you a happy Father's Day. And you know, want to remember all the fathers that whether they're living or dead. And especially our special Father, God, our Heavenly Father. With him, every day should be Father's Day.
Well, usually very appropriate that you're the first to salute me and all other fathers out there. This is that weekend, is it not?
Right.
Hey, you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for the call. Say hi to Dr. Miller for all of us.
Right. Will do.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
There you have it, folks. Radioactive Rich. Checking in. It's been a while. Haven't heard from him. In the interim, I did hear a knock on the door. Come on in the store. Hello and welcome in.
Dr. Courtney?
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
I had just talked with you, and I did pick up the card that gave his website, and there is a phone number, but it's not an 800 number.
Oh, it's okay. You do have a phone number. Go right ahead.
And it said it's on sale at the website.
Okay.
The phone number is 480-831-6229.
6229. You are so good. I hope the lady who was just listening, and I'm sure she is still listening, will use that number to get a copy of the book and not having computer access. And I plan on calling the number and looking at the website and reporting back to all of you on what I find on the other end, because so many of you who have an interest, well, just didn't have a chance to go up there last night and listen to them. You were there evidently, right, ma'am?
Oh, yes.
What did you, I'm interested in your impression. What did you think of Mr. Bernardo Lapayo?
Well, I had called you earlier. I'm the lady that had called earlier.
Oh, okay.
And one thing I took notes, and one thing I had written, he really believes in cabbage, eating a lot of cabbage.
Cabbage, huh?
He'll take a cabbage leaf and cut the thick membrane out of the center of it and put it between two hot moist towels. Let it get nice and warm, and then place that on your arthritis, wherever you have arthritis in your body, and somehow attach that, sleep all night, because you won't believe how you feel in the morning. Just using cabbage leaf for arthritis.
Gee, I was thinking that you were going to talk about the eating of cabbage, because I was saying, well, that's the high fiber, very low nutrition. But no, he used it in some form of a poultice, huh?
Right.
Some sort of a wrap around what? Swollen extremities, maybe, or a wound, or what?
Well, my daughter has arthritis.
Arthritis. Okay.
Yes, for arthritis, he said it's wonderful. And he said he's never sick. He said I never get the flu, I never get the cold. But he's a frugal eater. He said I learned that from my father. You're eating something and you really like it, you think, boy, I'd like more. But he said that's the time to stop. Don't have that second helping. And he said you'll feel much better. His main thought was keeping your colon clean. And he said you can do that by eating properly. And they sell a green, it was in a bottle. It's a green drink. It's super, another doctor suggested it. And I bought that. So he said he has that every morning. And he said it's even good for weight loss. But I put it in our smoothie every morning. He said add frozen banana, blueberries, whatever. And it tastes good, but it's got a lot. So I was totally impressed.
Oh, I know you were, and I thank you for the follow-up call. Okay, I'm asking a question, and maybe he hit it directly for a guy who, at the time he was growing up in the 1900s, there was no worry about things like pesticides and like all foods that this gentleman consumed for a large part of his life were pesticide-free. They essentially were organic. Now, today, you have to, if you're going to eat the same way, you're going to have to go to great effort to eat organic. Does he take that effort? Did he mention whether he eats organically or not? Or didn't he mention it?
Yes, he does. He said whenever possible, and I'm sure he does. And he's an adopted daughter. She lives with them, and I'm sure she's a big help to him. But he does eat organically. He said, I do have an edge on all you people. who haven't done this all their life. He said, I've done it all my life. So he said, it's inbred in me, and I don't want to do anything else. He talked about being at Bill Cosby's home and different high, influential people, and he said they'd make the fancy steak on the grill. And he said, I didn't want to hurt their feelings, so he said, just give me a small piece. And he said, I would eat just a little piece just to satisfy them, but he said, I don't eat meat on my own. So I admired that. He didn't want to make a show.
He didn't want to make a big spectacle of himself, so he even ate something that was against his well-established constitutional approach to a diet. Fish 3 times a week and all the vegetables that you can muster. I'm guessing that came out again last night also, huh?
Yes, a lot of beans. He uses a lot of
legumes, beans.
Yes, legumes, yes, a lot of them. He said there's nothing better, and even in his book it tells that's the poor man's protein, but he said it's not. He said that's what a lot of people think. And I've even seen recipes for meatloaf where you add black beans, smash up the black beans, and it said that it is so moist. Now, I know beans can be used even in baking, smashing the beans. So everybody needs to use more beans.
Well, hey, I'm going to hope that a lot of us get that book. I promise you I will. I don't know. I promise to try to get him back here, too, but get him another part of the day when he was a little clearer. I think that thing about getting him at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning was a bad idea. But I'm so happy that you were touched by his presentation. Thank you for the phone number that, once again, for those listening and don't have computer access but want to get that book, 480-831-6229. I'll keep it on hand. It'll be something that if anybody calls in the future, I can give on the air multiple times. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that call back.
You're welcome.
Okay, there you have it. Oh, the listeners here are just fantastic. That shit I played for the phone number in there, it just popped out. Those of you, I'm going to give it once again, 480-831-6229. You may want to get in here too, 412-825-6262. We are in the gun lap. We're coming around the home stretch, but always at any point in this show, if I hear a knock at the door, I'll let you in the store. That's time enough to get your particular issue out of the way or your comment. And attempting to try to maybe bring closure to talking about pain treatments that we use here in our office. I've been doing so for years. The more cruel set of pain patients, the ones that really are ones who are in agony, are patients who may have been injured, may have fallen, may have been in an automobile wreck, but by virtue of having that occur 3, 5, 7, 9, 10 years ago, their lives are miserable, and they can't seem to get a correction to their problem. They feel that that medicine does not hold a correction for their problem. And I just want to tell you that what I've learned when I left doing the nerve block approach to treating pain is that with the right kind of evaluation, you can come up with correctable diagnoses by which, no matter how long you've had that pain problem, there is a solution to get it turned around even after 10, 15, and 20 years after the fact. So I offer that out as a ray of hope. Please come in to see us. Give us a call at 724-942-3002. I hear a final knock at the door. Come on, the store. Hello and welcome in. What's on your mind?
I'm the last but not least, I hope.
Oh, never. I know the voice. How are you today?
I did attend the meeting last night. I too, was a few minutes late getting there, but I will say, just real quickly, he did emphasize breathing. Apparently he had a stroke about a year ago or so. And now he didn't elaborate too much, but his assistant there was saying that I guess yogic breathing or some type of breathing technique was very important in his recovery. He also said that going to church was very important and that it doesn't matter what church you go to, just get your butt to a church. And he said the only church that he had to walk out of was one in India in which they had snakes hanging from the ceiling. He had quite a sense of humor if you paid attention. And like Dr. Ornish, he did endorse the beans, lots of beans. He also said sardines were okay. Okay.
Ah.
In that 3 fish thing a week. I do want to tell you that John Smith up there videotaped the whole thing, and we'll have a disc available. He said real soon, within a couple of days.
Oh, you know, thanks for letting me think of it. I'm gonna give Smitty a call and see if I can get a copy of that.
I think I will too. Because in my experience, and I've been attending seminars for a very long time, I have never had a seminar put on by anyone over 100 years of age, and a few in the 90s. And I was trying to think of any health gurus out there that actually did live beyond 100 years, and quite frankly, I can't think of one single name. Paul Bragg is one of the few that I know came very, in great physical health, came very close to the 100 mark. So we're very privileged to have somebody who endorses a hygienic lifestyle that actually made it beyond 100. So.
Hey, I'm glad you went.
I think that's about. Oh, one other thing too. I'll have to call you later on this, but I wanted to discuss this fructose glucose thing with you.
Oh, the sugar.
I only got a bit of it. I couldn't call in the day you were talking about it. I was.
Okay, I promised to even mention a cappella fashion on Monday. Look, thanks so much for that call. Even at the end of the wire,
Father's Day to everyone out there, and.
Thank you so much. You have an enjoyable weekend yourself, Dad. All right.
Yeah, old man. Okay.
All right.
All right. Good day.
There you have it. Hey. What a great show you all put together for us today. Really appreciate your participation. So many of you who were at the Freedom of Choice in Cancer Therapy group. Looks like, and I'll give it information. I'm sure Smitty would love selling some of those DVDs, and that's right, he records all things up there. So that's a way to get a chance of seeing Mr. Lapio without actually having been there. You have a wonderful weekend, especially to you dads out there. Happy Father's Day to you all. I'll be back with you on Monday. Until then, this is Dr. Dennis Courtney saying so long for AIM Impact on Your Health.
AM Impact on Your Health is sponsored by Dennis J. Courtney, M.D., Director of the Courtney Medical Group, located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray, Pennsylvania. For more information or to make an appointment, call 724-942-3002. That's 724-942-3002 for Dennis J. Courtney.